This is an example of using our workflow designer for a multi-tiered approval process. We'll log on as the accounts payable manager and launch our DocuWare browser interface. We see that we have some tasks to do with some new invoices. So we previously stored and indexed these documents, and now that kicked off an automated workflow process. So we have to open each invoice and assign them to a cost center. So we'll assign this first storage experts to the manufacturing department. And you'll notice it leaves my task list. And we'll look at the phone wizard. And we know that this is separated across two departments. So we'll assign this one invoice to both departments of manufacturing and sales. And our last invoice from US Steel, we will assign to manufacturing. And now we've completed all of our tasks. So from here, we will switch to the production manager that is in charge of approving invoices for the manufacturing department and launch his DocuWare interface. We'll see he has 3 new tasks to handle. And if we go to the task area, we'll see his tasks are check invoice. In the upper left-hand corner, we have all of his tasks, what he needs to do, what activity is required. In the right, we have the invoices. And in the bottom left, we can either approve or reject the invoices. Now, this first storage experts invoice is not for the manufacturing department and shouldn't have been routed to him. So he'll select reject, say it's not my cost center, and confirm that, which will send it back to the accounting department for further review. The phone wizard invoice he could take a look at, but he knows that he splits this with the sales department, so he'll approve the invoice, but not for the full amount. We'll change the $857 to just $657, and that's the portion that will be approved and charged to the manufacturing department. And this last invoice for $1 million worth of steel will be approved. Now you'll remember, this is a multi-tiered approval process, and as with many companies, over a particular dollar amount, there needs to be a second level of approval before payment. Let's go back to the accounting department and see what we have. If we look at the tasks now, we only have one invoice that is ready for any actions from the accounting department, and it's that storage experts invoice. So we see that we have incorrectly sent that to manufacturing when in fact it belongs to the sales department. So we'll reassign that invoice to the sales department, log out, and we'll go to sales and launch that manager's browser interface. We see we have 2 tasks to complete. There's our storage expert, which was originally sent to manufacturing and then reassigned to sales. And we'll approve that full amount on this invoice from the sales department. We'll also see that he has the phone wizard invoice that was previously approved by manufacturing, and we'll see the manufacturing manager's stamp up here with the amount of $657 has already been approved. He'll approve the remainder of $200 of that invoice, and his tasks are complete. Now you'll also remember when we were in accounting, the US Steel invoice wasn't there either. And that's because it required a second level of approval. So we'll log on as the CFO. We see we have one task to handle. We need a CFO approval because it's over $5,000. take a look at the invoice. See that Brian Ford's already approved it. We'll put our CFO approval on that invoice. And now it should be ready for the accounting department to pay. So as we come back to the accounting department, now we have 3 invoices to be paid. Our storage expert, we can add a check number if we like. Pay that invoice. Phone Wizard, both departments have approved their portion. Now the full amount is ready to pay. We can confirm that invoice. And our US Steel invoices here with both the CFO's approval stamp and the manufacturing manager's approval stamp. And we'll pay that invoice.